Hi everybody, this is Carla, and this time I'm here to do a review for episode 12 of season 8 of Castle. This episode is titled The Blame Game, and I have to say, I almost didn't watch this episode because, let's face it, Castle hasn't really been all that exciting recently. And after the previous episode, I would have watched it eventually, but I wasn't really eager to watch it on time. I'm really glad I bit the bullet and watched it anyway because I really love this episode. The thing about this is I've said it 100 times in other reviews before that I really love setup stories, like when something is set up like intricately. A plot line is kind of set up. It's the only way I can think of. The only way of saying it that I can think of. It's just you put things in motion, and because of that and that affinity I have for setups and stories that are set up in a very good way, I also really love it when you have stories of like psycho killers setting up these complex games for the heroes to actually get through, or else they would die. I love stories like that, and granted, this was not the best execution of that type of storyline that I've seen. Like, it's been done much better, but I still enjoyed it just because that's what it was. And I really like, just because I'm a big fan of villains who are smart, and I like the idea of them setting up traps for the heroes to go through. And again, it fits Castle because the whole thing with Castle is his mind, that he's able to think like a serial killer in a way, because he's a writer and he writes serial killers for a living, right? Or just killers in general, not necessarily just serial killers. He writes these types of stories, so it makes total sense for Castle to actually be able to solve these types of intricate games, and I just really love it when we get to see stuff like that. Again, the execution not necessarily the best. It was kind of a little predictable. I mean, as soon as the three wives appeared on TV, and then you have this one guy who has nobody, you're like, that's strange. I think maybe he's the killer, wanting to be like part of the game himself. That was kind of a little obvious. And also, why would the killer mark the particular people that he was targeting? Like, why would he mark Beckett? Why would he mark the psychiatrist lady? That was kind of a little dumb. So he wasn't the smartest of the smart killers. But I still really enjoyed it. It had a lot of twists that you don't... we've seen those twists before, but still, I enjoyed Castle trying to figure it out, trying to think the way this person would think. I wasn't... the whole B thing, I like the codex, made me think, reminded me of the Da Vinci Code, so that was fun. I was kind of expecting Castle to make a Da Vinci Code reference somewhere. I was kind of disappointed he didn't. I was also kind of disappointed that he didn't take the bullets out of the gun. Like, why would you leave the bullets in the gun? I mean, I'm glad that Beckett did, because Beckett is awesome, and obviously she would do that. Why didn't Castle? Castle, what were you thinking, dude? So I was a little disappointed by that, but I still really enjoyed the episode. Starting from the whole EpiPen thing, I thought that was really interesting. Like, this dude almost killed himself. Because, of course, at that point, we didn't know he was killing himself. We didn't know he was the bad guy. But when you think about it, and it's like, this dude almost killed himself just to make things seem more realistic, right? Like, was he actually going to kill himself? Did he have some kind of backup plan? Did he have an antidote that he thought he could use, like, without anybody seeing it? I mean, obviously, he couldn't just miraculously not die after ingesting poison, but it's interesting the lengths that one person would go to. And I really love the way, Castle did good. and trying to figure out all the clues and stuff. Beckett did awesome though, because Beckett solved everything like really fast. And she was like, you can't trust anything in this room. Everything is meant to kill you somehow, so don't touch anything. And she straight away recognized, the whole bullet things. And she kept thinking, hey, this is too easy. I thought that was really interesting. I wasn't expecting the bullet to ricochet back to the dude. By the way, that surprised me. I mean, I kind of figured that the guy would put the gun down eventually. I wasn't expecting him to die. But that was interesting. And, the whole, at the end, this whole, extra room thing where everybody had to, like 3 people had to pull down the switch, the levers, in order to open the door. That was like, yeah, really easy in a way. Like, what was supposed to happen? What was supposed to happen to the people left behind? I mean, obviously the dude only used the the rifle. Like, the killer only ran for the rifle because Beckett and Castle already knew what was going on. But what would have happened if, say, the other 2 people or the widow decided to stay behind? Like, I was kind of expecting the room to start shrinking, but I thought maybe that's too technologically advanced for them, for this production. So I would have liked to see what would have happened, but I guess I'm never going to. It was good to see Haley again. It's always nice to see Haley, although we didn't really get to see her in action all that much. I love that Alexis kind of figured everything out in a way. She's awesome. I love it when Alexis, gets to do something important. And I love when she comes into the room and sees Castle and she's like, I can't leave you alone for 5 minutes, because seriously, that's true. Whenever she's not looking, Castle gets kidnapped or hurt or gets amnesia or something happens to him, because it only goes to show that she's really kind of the adult in this relationship and Castle is the kid. But at the same time, they're father and daughter, so it's kind of adorable that they would do that. One thing I didn't get, maybe I missed something, is just Emma was wanting to expose these kids, right? But was she a part of the experiment too? Or why was she trying to expose these people who were doing this to these kids? Like, did the sister give her the tapes? Did Emma break in? Like, it wasn't really clear what happened. I guess she was a part of the experiment, and that's why she decided to break in. But how did that relate to the suicide of the sister and stuff like that? And was the suicide of the sister what triggered this dude to start killing people, including Emma? Really, you didn't have to kill her, dude. Also, this whole thing about his sister being his soulmate, that was really creepy. In an incesty sort of way. Like, was it supposed to be incest? Is that what they were hinting at? Or was it just kind of a, heterosexual, like, partner type thing that twins sometimes have? I don't know. They didn't explain it. I guess it was a bit too much for a PG-14 show on TV, on ABC. So, I don't know, but I would have liked to see, not to see, but just to understand what was going on through the dude's mind, because it seems kind of extreme to kill someone because what she wanted to do is not enough. He could have let her live and still do what he did, because he was going to kill himself anyway, so who cares what happens to those tapes after he's dead, right? So I would have liked to see maybe more of what his mind was like, but still, I enjoyed it as this sort of death game kind of setup. I really enjoyed it. I like Castle episodes when they're like this, when they actually make you think, and when they actually have everything set up to make sense. even from like halfway through, and it's not like, oh, we only have 5 minutes to go in the episode, quick, throw in the last clue. How are you supposed to guess if you don't have all the clues, right? But this one, I guess you could have seen it coming from along, like, really early, right? So I enjoyed that aspect of it, even though it made it a little bit predictable, because you could tell that the minister was going to be the killer from early on. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I guess next week I will have to watch Castle straight away, you know? Is there an episode next week? I'm not sure. I would check my calendar, but still. If I was complaining that Castle wasn't doing very well in the last few episodes, this one grabbed me. This one was good. So, good job, Castle. I will keep watching for the time being, I guess. And that's it. That's my conclusion. As usual, remember to visit our website at thegeekypub.com. We have not only reviews for the previous Castle episodes, but also for other TV shows, books, movies, games. We have a ton of stuff in there, so be sure to visit and check it out. And also, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's usually where our reviews go up first, even before they hit the website. Most of the time they're on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And that's it from me today. I will see you guys in my next review. Bye.